Hey guys, my name is Kayla and I do videos on bunnies and book reviews. So if either of those interest you, make sure to subscribe down below. Today I am going to be talking about a book I just read called The Return. So this book is by Nicholas Sparks and I got it for Christmas. It was actually not what I expected it to be. I have read a few books by Nicholas Sparks and they were pretty good, so I was hoping this one would be just as good. It is typical Nicholas Sparks book with the romance, but there is a little bit of something different with some mystery, and that's what makes up most of the book, is him trying to figure out that mystery. So I will read you guys what the inside says for the summary to give you guys an idea of what the book is. So, Trevor Benson never intended to move back to New Bern, North Carolina, but when a mortar blast outside the hospital where he worked sent him home from Afghanistan with devastating injuries, the dilapidated cabin he inherited from his grandfather seemed as good a place to regroup as any. Tending to his grandfather's beloved beehives, Trevor isn't prepared to fall in love with a local, yet from their very first encounter, Trevor feels a connection with Deputy Sheriff Natalie Masterson that he can't ignore. But even as she seems to reciprocate his feelings, she remains frustratingly distant, making Trevor wonder what she's hiding. Further complicating his stay in New Bern is the presence of a sullen teenage girl, Callie, who lives in the trailer park down the road. Trevor hopes Callie can shed light on the mysterious circumstances of his grandfather's death, but she offers few clues. Until a crisis triggers a race to uncover the true nature of Callie's past, one more intertwined with the elderly man's passing than Trevor could have ever imagined. In his quest to unravel Natalie and Callie's secrets, Trevor will learn the true meaning of love and forgiveness, and that in life, to move forward, we must often return to the place where it all began. So, this was a very exciting book. There is a lot of mystery in it, especially with some of the main characters like Callie and the sheriff, Natalie. So, Trevor does have this connection toward Natalie that she seems to reciprocate and she seems to care about him too, but there's a mystery about why she isn't fully into the relationship like he wants to be. So for you to find that out, definitely should read it. So some questions that I'm going to answer is what my favorite character is. My favorite character in this book is actually one that is a big character, but not often in the book, and that's Callie. So Callie's the neighbor, the young girl that lives in the trailer park down the road from Trevor. And the reason she's my favorite character is just because her storyline is so creative. It has all these different aspects that tie into with Trevor's storyline that you wouldn't typically get from a character that's not as big as her. Her story is kind of what pulls together this whole book and what causes all of this to happen, which is what I really loved about it. And we get to see not only Trevor's perspective of the situation and her mystery, but why she had this mystery to begin with. And that's what I just love about her. I just want to say I definitely do recommend this book. It is not one that you would typically read. I recommend this book because there's a lot of different points involved in it. It's not just the romance that we expect from Nicholas Sparks. Instead, it has all these little things that tie together and make it into this romance mystery book that kind of draws you in just from the start. Really, is you get this introduction to Trevor, especially as a veteran. Like, we get to see his perspective of being a veteran and coming back to a home that he used to come to all the time, and how he treated his grandfather in different ways that he's coping now with the loss of his grandfather, the loss of his journey in the military. He has to come back from the military when he didn't plan on it because of an injury that happened, and we get to hear about that injury and about his PTSD, which we don't often see in books, and it makes you think also about how characters aren't the only ones that experience these difficulties. Real people do too. So I think it's just a great book for you if you want to see all these different points, if you want to learn a little bit about PTSD and how some people handle it through therapists, and if you want to hear about a mystery and Trevor trying to solve that mystery, not just with Callie, the girl down the road, but also with Natalie, the girl that he likes, and figure out why she's the way she is and not reciprocating his feelings like the way he wants. And it doesn't even, like, you can infer throughout the book to what these mysteries are, but you can never really pinpoint what it is, because the details add up into so many different things. And then eventually, when you get to the end of where that mystery is, you will realize that, oh, this makes so much sense now, and this isn't like what I thought, but like it makes a lot more sense compared to what I thought. And so it's just a great story to read, and you will figure out different things that you didn't think would like flow into this mystery that is then finally solved in the end. I also just want to say it wraps up amazingly. The end wraps up nice, where we didn't know what to expect. I guess we kind of did. If you've read Nicholas Sparks books before, you probably expect what the ending is going to be. But even me reading Nicholas Sparks, I did not expect the end how it ended. It was not what I wanted. I wanted more to the ending, but it did end in a good way, where if Nicholas Sparks ever wanted, he could probably create another book about this, especially from a different perspective. I think it would be amazing to see it from either Callie's perspective or from Natalie's perspective. That would be amazing to see how they thought about all this, and how they thought about Trevor coming into town after the house had been empty for so long after the grandfather died. I mean, his grandfather was so well known in the community that just a stranger coming into his home kind of creeped others out. Like, they weren't sure who he was, even though he was there as a kid during the summers. And so you just hear a lot about his story, his grandfather's story, Natalie's story, Callie's story, all throughout the book, and they all tie in amazingly together. So I definitely think this is a book you should read if you're interested in a romance novel, but with a little bit of mystery to it. Another thing is, it also relates to other ideas like beekeeping and medicine. We get to hear from Trevor about how he's going back into medicine because he was a doctor, and how he's trying to go back into medicine, but as a psychiatrist instead, because of his experiences with PTSD. So I thought that was really interesting. But we also get to see this side of him where he's taking care of the bees that his grandfather loved and cherished, and he gets to take care of that honey and help the bees continue to live. So I think it just pulls in a lot of different ideas that people can enjoy and keep you motivated to read, especially because it does move so fast. It's not a slow drawn out book like some other books that I've read have been. And so if you want a faster paced book with romance and mystery and different points about beekeeping and medicine and PTSD, I feel like this is a great book for you, and you should definitely go and check it out. Another thing I want to add is I did get this for Christmas, like I said in the beginning, and it's actually pretty cool what this book has. So this is the cover without the sleeve on it, and so it's a really nice cover. But also so this is the page that it came with, but if you flip it inside out, it has a holiday themed one. So this is not a holiday book, I just want to point out, but it's a nice touch for like the happy holidays kind of thing. So if you wanted to get a book like this for a family member for Christmas or something like that, just flip the inside of it and you've got a holiday themed book that you can give them. So I definitely enjoyed it, and I think you will too if you read it, especially if you're into the things I mentioned before. So let me know if you like it, if you've read it, or if you plan to read it. Let me know how it went after you read it. Just comment down below. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos. My next video is going to be a bunny video, so make sure you go and check that out. And then the next Sunday is going to be another book review. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye.